I'm a delegate from Hyde County. I would like to place into nomination the name of Matt McClarty for Public Utilities Commission. Now, you all know Matt as Rick Hoffey's little sidekick down here.
Little sidekick?
Chip off the old block. But I first met Matt probably 5-6 years ago when he was working for South Dakota Farmers Union. He's a graduate of the University of South Dakota, but he's a native of Iowa. He came to South Dakota and he makes South Dakota his home now. He worked for the South Dakota Farmers Union for a number of years, working on legislative issues, basically any of the issues in South Dakota Farmers Union that were important to farmers and South Dakotans, country of origin labeling, ethanol development, all those issues that are near and dear to members of Farmers Union and to all farmers and all South Dakotans. He worked on those issues at government level in both here and in Washington, D.C., lobbying on those issues and represented that organization and South Dakota well with doing that. Since then, the South Dakota Democratic Party is lucky that we were able to hire him away from the South Dakota Farmers Union. He's been with us for about 2 years now, and he's worked as a field organizer for the last few years. And I think he's done a great job. We've organized a lot more of the state than we had organized previously. And so with that, I would urge you to support Matt McClarty for the position of Public Utilities Commission.
Madam Chair, there is a second for the little sidekick. When I first met Matt, our first conversation was about Sioux City, Iowa, and that's where Matt lived in Iowa, and I had the pleasure of living in Sioux City for a couple of years. But Nick took a lot of the things I was going to say about lobbying for the farm union and all. But what I will say is that when I found out that Matt was going to do this, and I said, well, why? And he really said 2 reasons. One, most importantly to him, was that he'd protect consumers in our state. And the second reason was that he wanted to be a part of the structure, of the infrastructure that helped create an opportunity that prepared our state and our citizens in our state for the new economy as it relates to renewable energies and all of the things that the PUC does. So, enthusiastically, I second Matt's nomination as our next PUC.
All those in favor, well, second, please. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. I'm sorry. Our nominee.
Thank you very much. And, you know, when you're going to come up and give a speech in front of a group of people, nothing can set your confidence on fire like being referred to as somebody's little sidekick. Yeah. But I want to thank Nick Nemec and Malcolm Chapman for helping me out with this. Opportunity and public life have an interesting relationship. In private life, we have the power to choose opportunities, but in public life, opportunity often chooses you. And today, I accept your nomination for South Dakota Public Utilities Commissioner. My path to this opportunity started in Sioux City, where I grew up.
And like most kids, I had my heroes growing up. George bred for the Royals. As some of you may know, I have a certain thing for Elvis Presley. But it was really my parents who instilled in me the ideas that we all share in this room as Democrats. And especially the notion that when you have the opportunity to help people, you must rise to that challenge. My path leading me to South Dakota was that I came in 2002 to work on Senator Tim Johnson's campaign that year against Representative Thune at the time. And it was there that I got to travel all across the state. I got to meet people from every corner of this state, and I realized that South Dakota is a state that wants change, that wants to make a better life for their children than they have today. And it's something that has really become part of my character as well. Following that, I did work for the South Dakota Farmers Union, where I worked very hard on issues to bolster our cooperative movement across the state, as well as producers, and make sure that rural South Dakota gets a fair shake. I appreciate the fact that each of you made the trip here to Oakoma. You are consumers who filled your gas tanks with gas nearing $4 a gallon. Consumers who are alarmed at the prospect of no end to the rising costs of your electricity, your heating fuel, your phone service. You are consumers who are losing your discretionary income to profiteers and big energy. And like you, I was alarmed when the protectors of profiteers in Congress refused to enact a windfall profits tax against big oil companies. It is time that we stop stacking the deck for big energy in America, and we need to draw the line right here in South Dakota. I'm tired of the government stacking the deck for big energy companies. Big energy companies have deep pockets to hire very talented lobbyists, and lots of them. And that's their right. And it's your energy payments that help finance those lobbyists. But who hires the people to represent the consumer who is getting fleeced at the gas pump, in their heating bills, in their electric bills, and in their phone bills? Who stacks the deck for consumers? You do. The voters. You are the consumers. You are the ones paying through the nose, and you can hire your own advocate. I'm in this election to stack the deck for consumers. The Public Utilities Commission does not get involved in disputes where eminent domain enters the picture, but the people with deep pockets have their lobbyists and lawyers to interpret the laws and give the ultimate advantage to their clients to use the tool called eminent domain. And when Public Utilities Commission can provide leadership and insight into matters that may involve public domain, eminent domain, I think it's my job as a consumer's lobbyist to provide that leadership. When a public official has the opportunity to set the standard, when consumers and property owners deserve protection, I think it's my job to be that consumer's advocate. I want to work hard for more development in biofuels production and wind energy. And I share everyone in this room's dream that we can transform our nation, transform into a new economy, and it can all begin right here in South Dakota. My wife Alicia and I live in Sioux Falls. We're both from Iowa, but we chose South Dakota as our home. And today I am privileged to be chosen as your candidate. And in November, I hope that consumers agree with me now that energy costs skyrocketing through the roof and energy companies making all-time record profits, that it's time the deck was stacked for the consumers of South Dakota. I thank you for your nomination.